mention a little bit Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, because I saw it and I definitely liked it more than you did. But like I said, only because you warned me about the tonal shifts in it, and they were very apparent. Because as I was watching it, and I was watching, like, there's some very heavy, there's some very dramatic scenes in it.
As well there should be. That's the subject matter.
That's the subject matter. And then there's lines from a sitcom in there. And they don't match, especially with Sam Rockwell's character, because that's where
he's
you're
like
well,
comic relief
yeah,
in this really tragic story.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah,
you don't need sitcom lines here. And this is what this is writing that could have been fixed with another rewrite, where you could take that comedic spin to the character. Yeah, he's dumb. We get it. He's not that bright. Mm-hmm. But you could make the jokes match his character more and his dialogue and what he's saying more than just like, oh, yeah, make the joke here about how dumb he is. And, make the joke here about how dumb he is. Make the joke here about how he's a racist. And, all those, like, they really felt out of place. It really felt like they hired a punch-up writer at the end and just went, no, but just write dumb jokes for Sam Rockwell. Yeah. And but I really felt, because I was warned about that, if you take all that out and aside, I really liked the film. And the reason I liked it was because of the dramatic parts and the uncompromising look at these characters. Like, Frances McDormand's character was not likable at all. Mm-hmm. But you understood why she was miserable and nasty. And it really fit the character. I'm like, oh, she's really unlikable. She's supposed to be unlikable.
But there's even a great scene in there where she flashes back to not being a great mom, something she said to her daughter before she disappeared, and you're like, oh, that did, for me at least, make her a little more likable. And it, like you say, it explained.
Yes.
And which is why then these wacky sitcom moments really bothered me, because I'm like, let's stay with this tone. Kinner, what did you
No, I agree the same way. I thought, as looking at it as an overall package, the filmmakers weren't quite sure what kind of movie they wanted to make and what themes they wanted to get across. And that's how it came to me. I'm quite surprised at how much praise it's getting.
Oh, it's on that. It's nominated in all different categories.
All categories.
Best Picture, Sam Rockwell and Woody Harrelson for.
I'm glad that, like, the subject matter of women getting abducted and abused or whatever is that's getting out there more. But it really, when I see again Wind River, that movie is just a better made film and talks about specifically Native American women who are.
And tonally, it didn't shift. Like,
no,
tonally,
right.
You kind of, it was.
It's a heavy subject. They kept it there.
Right, exactly.
They kept it there.
Yeah.
And this movie was like trying to be wacky within the context of this really heavy subject, which doesn't make any sense.
And it was one of the things I did like about it too is it didn't let any of the characters off the hook. Like you felt like, this character's unlikable.
No one was likable.
No one was likable. And everyone had different sides to them. Like Woody Harrelson's character, the sheriff. He really did care that he didn't find, the daughter's killer. It's like, look, I did everything I could. It's, take the damn billboards down. It's like, if there's no evidence, and there's nothing more I can do. So you felt like, there wasn't this grand conspiracy against finding the murderer. I also liked too how nothing wrapped up in a neat bow in this movie. And that was intentional, and I felt it fit the darker tone of the film, but then when it went lighter, that's when it kind of lost its footing a little bit. But I think also too, as comedians, we're a little more sensitive to it. I think we pick it out a little bit more. But I felt like what you had pointed out in your initial review was the problem that also I had with the movie. But I did like it overall more because I liked what it did right. And I kind of forgave what it did wrong a little bit
when
more.
you go in knowing, all right,
yeah,
this is like, I remember when I finally watched Ishtar, I was like, yeah, I know there's this horrifying 30 minutes in the desert.
Right, yeah.
So once you get, literally, you pull the desert scene out of Ishtar, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Telling the truth is dangerous. That fucking scene's amazing. Anyway, Charles Grodin is the CIA guy? Come on. He's more believable than Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. So I did like it, I think, with that one caveat, for sure.
I shot first, getting heads